Welcome to Social Ella Ministries, where we are committed to glorifying God while exposing the devil. One of the things the devil hates is a God ordained relationship. And he will work very hard if he catches wind that two people are meant to be together. He will work very hard to try to keep those people apart. Sometimes by spreading falsities so that both individuals wouldn't even want to be around each other. But another way he does it is by when those individuals are brought together, he will do just about anything possible to create this tension between them. And especially if he can cut off their communications between each other, that would be very important and also detrimental. An example of this is found in Judges 14. The Lord had ordained a Philistine wife for Samson. But there are issues. During their wedding feast, Samson told a riddle to some Philistine men. And he gave them 7 days to solve the riddle because there was a bet associated with it. But after struggling to find an answer for the riddle, this is what happened. And looking at Judges 14, I'm going to read 15 through 17. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, Entice thy husband, entice thy husband. And by the way, this is not Delilah. The Bible doesn't say that Samson was married to Delilah. He married a Philistine woman prior to Delilah. But it starts off by saying, Entice thy husband. It is never a good thing if outsiders are coming in the relationship and telling one spouse to betray the trust of another. That is demonic. So I start again. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, Entice thy husband, that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire. Have ye called us to take what we have? Is it not so? So they threatened her. You would think that after receiving a threat, that the first person she would go to would be her husband, to at least say that these people threatened me, and maybe give him a chance to take care of it. But this is what happened. And Samson's wife wept before him and said, Thou dost hate me, and lovest me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people. When two people get married, it is very important that they put each other first. A man and woman, both of them have to leave their father and mother, and they have to cleave to each other and become one flesh, as it is written. When she starts talking about her people, she's basically putting her people above her husband. Putting anyone else above your spouse, with the exception of God, is a recipe for disaster. And it continues, and hast not told it to me. And he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it to my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it to thee? If you're going to marry someone, you should be able to trust them. And in trusting that person, again, you have to put that person above your parents. You have to leave your house, leave your family, and become one flesh with the individual that you marry. So there has to be a level of trust. And there has to be communication. So you can't be putting others first. If not, it's going to create a wedge in your relationship. Everything starts with God, and then communication between the two of you. Also, another thing, if you have an issue, speak to your spouse directly. Don't go in roundabout ways trying to approach an issue. Yes, there's a time and place for everything, and maybe you need to reserve certain times for certain discussions. But if you have an issue, don't make it seem as if everything is okay while it's not, and in a sense you want your spouse to be a mind reader. Whatsoever is concerning you, you have to state it clearly. And it continues. And she wept before him the 7 days, while their feast lasted. And it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her. But he didn't tell her because he trusted her. He told her because she manipulated him. In a sense, she was nagging him to share that secret with him. Now, in a godly relationship, there are some secrets for you to keep. When I say some secrets, if the Lord tells you something, he may not want you to share it with your spouse. That is a secret for you to keep. But everything else, you should be able to share it with your spouse, and your spouse should keep it and not even tell his or her best friend. Because once a spouse starts speaking with other people about private things that are going on in a relationship, that is a recipe for disaster, especially if that spouse finds out, and some things are truly a betrayal of trust. So he told her on the 7th day, because she lay sore upon him, and she told the riddle to the children of her people. So he conveyed a secret, something that was near and dear to him, to her, and she betrayed him. In the long run, those people end up killing Samson's wife anyhow. So she betrayed him to others who eventually let her down too. When you mess with the devil, you're not going to win if you're trying to make deals with him. He's going to use you, destroy you, and then throw you away. And like I said, he hates God-ordained relationships. He will work hard to prevent them from ever coming to fruition. And when he can't, he will work hard to create division between you. Ensure that you're communicating openly and frequently with your spouse. You should be able to trust each other. If you are more apt to share information with a friend outside of your relationship, and I know there's some things where you may need second opinion, so to speak, or maybe an outsider's point of view. But don't let outsiders be your first source of reference. Speak with your spouse, and especially for those God-ordained relationships, because the devil is doing his best to tear you apart. God bless you.